Hi, this deck of cards was compiled to facilitate working through the MCAT style passage, the Perky Effect, and they deal mostly with the psychological and a little bit of the biological foundations of behavior. The P blank Y, E blank T describes the relationship between real visual information, perception, and mental imagery. So what is this? And I think you should know it. I kind of just gave you the answer previously. That's right, the Perky Effect. So here goes an example. This might be the actual perception, but then your mental imagery might create this or this. Obviously, due to vision, impairments, or it might be due to something else. All right, so this is the best conceptual visual I could have find for the Perky Effect. But read up on it, okay? But don't get too caught up if you're not totally clear on it. Just know about it. A M blank G stimulus causes a failure in the first stimulus. So what other type of stimulus would cause a failure in the first stimulus? That would be a masking stimulus. So if this is the first stimulus that you're shown, but you immediately are shown this after, this image will create an interference with you perceiving this, the intended image. Or it could be any one of these. They'll all interfere. They're called masking stimuli. When two stimuli are perceived simultaneously. I mean I blank E, not L, sorry. So what is this phenomenon? That would be interference. Okay? So if you perceive something that says go, but it's encircled by red, you're going to experience stop and go at the same time because normally go is associated with the color green and stop with red. So there's some interference here. Just as likely, if you see this sign stop, but it's encircled by green, you're going to experience you're going to start to go, but then you're going to halt at the same time. This is the best thing that I could find on interference to help you visually capture the essence of what it means. M blank G stimulus is shown immediately after a first visual stimulus, which causes a failure to perceive the first stimulus. This is a repeat for emphasis, and you should know the answer. What is it? You probably guessed it. Again, that's a masking stimulus. So if this is the first initial stimulus, but you're shown either this, or this, or this immediately after, any of the three alternative images will, hinder you from perceiving this first one. Okay? Okay, now this is exciting. I like Gestalt principles. The Gestalt principle, law of similarity, claims that elements that are similar tend to be blank together. So what does this principle claim? It means grouped together. So that's what this law states. So we see here that your eye visually traces these objects in vertical lines as opposed to horizontal because it follows the law of similarity. And automatically, even if I wanted to, I'm kind of sort of just automatically grouping them vertically as I scan them over with my eyes. I think most people do this. If you don't, then I don't know what to say, you're different. The Gestalt principle law of C blank Y describes the ability to group units into lines following the smoothest path. So what law is this? The law of continuity. So this is the way we kind of break down X. A forward slash, well, I think this is a backslash and then a forward slash, as opposed to this thing looking like a greater than and less than sign. So we kind of tend to follow the smoothest path, okay? Principal law of P blank Y claims that elements are viewed as groups if elements are close together. So what law is this? This would be the law of proximity. So because these are grouped close together, we're gonna view them as like an entire unit. And you don't automatically view these as grouped together. You view the closer dots as being one group as opposed to the whole of them being one group. Okay. P blank Z describes the principle that elements are grouped together if they seem to be part of a pattern which is coherent or unified. So what law is this? And this is one of my favorite pieces by my favorite painter, Dali. And this is his rendition of Abe Lincoln using the law of pragnanz. He even uses a picture of Abe Lincoln within the rendition of Abe Lincoln. And basically each thing, each unit, each square unit is like a different picture overlaid with other different elements, but unified, we kind of group them together into this familiar image of Abraham Lincoln. And again, I apologize to any viewers who are not from the U.S. and aren't familiar with American presidents or Abraham Lincoln, but just look it up. It's a really neat piece. Dali does a few pieces like these. It's really cool.